There were 298,000 secondary market property transactions in Shanghai last year. That's more than the whole of the US. And in the first half of this year, the Chinese invested $290 billion in property. But there's one thing they like more than property, and that's shopping. Don't invest in property without first understanding the economy. Today I'm with Humbert Pang, who's going to tell me all about the economy here in Shanghai. But first I want to know, why are we in a shopping mall?
Well, because we bought this shopping mall and turned it into a modern shopping mall.
And what else have you been buying in the last 5 years?
We've been buying retail assets, office buildings, hotels and residential development projects.
Okay, and you've invested $4.5 billion in the last 5 years, so you're very confident in Greater China. Why?
I think because of the growth and also the population, the size of the market.
We keep hearing this story about population urbanization, but is it really happening?
It is happening, and you can see the latest regulations. It's the government's initiative to encourage the people from living in the rural parts of China to move to city areas.
So the big story is, urbanization is still at a level below the Industrial Revolution in Britain back in Victorian and pre-Victorian times. But that's not in Shanghai, is it? So how does that change your investment strategy?
I think from 2005, we moved from the first-tier cities focus to more second and third-tier city focus, where we bought land and actually developed mass residential projects.
So what kind of markets, what cities?
Places like Chengdu, Sizzle, which is in the northern part of Jiangsu province, a few hours drive from Shanghai. They're all very successful.
The people in these economies, can they afford to buy real estate? We see what's happening to prices in Shanghai. In these cities, have they got the money?
Well, first of all, the price tag is completely different from Shanghai. It's probably still 10 times or 15 times lower than Shanghai. And also, if you look at the salary implementation, in general, everybody is enjoying a good growth in their salary income as well.
Okay, so what for Shanghai then? I mean, you're arguing for second, third tier cities. What's the future of Shanghai?
I mean, Shanghai will definitely be the financial center of this region. It's just a matter of time.
Okay, so let's look at the property market on a broader level. I'm with Dawn from Savills. You've been here 6 years. What's happening in the market now?
What we've noticed is a lot of corporates coming into China now, especially expansion plans throughout the China-Shanghai region. And what that's meant for us is record occupancies in the Pudong area, some waiting lists for a couple of the most popular complexes. And what they've been communicating to us is that, elsewhere in the globe, headquarters might be struggling a bit more, so they need to increase their targets for revenue and profit here. So they're bringing in high caliber individuals. Yeah. So what that means is it's putting pressure on the high to mid-end residential leasing market. So it's been a very active year for us here in Shanghai.
Good. Okay, so I'm looking to invest in real estate in Shanghai. I hear your story. I hear the logic to the money coming in. Do I get a yield, or am I just buying capital growth? Am I just investing for future upside in the capital?
I think it depends where you buy in this market, and also what's your preference as far as, are you going for an appreciation game or a cash flow game? I think it's true with any market. If you buy units that are more about the 200 to 500,000 range, you're going to find better yield. The high-end market here, the leasing is truly from the expatriate community at this point. And the Chinese, if they do have money, they tend to prefer to own their own unit instead of lease.
So poor yield, basically.
So poor yield,
that's the real story. Poor yield, but good upside.
Yes.
So have you bought? Have you put your money where your mouth is?
Yes, I have bought. In fact, we bought last year when it was pretty much the peak of the market. There was a lot of flexibility with the banks. So we bought a unit that was $500,000 for a 2-bedroom. Okay. And our yield is fine because it's that price range, and it's also in a location where it's a bit more scarce for those kinds of units.
So, without being too rude, the little man can actually get into this market too. Yes. Fantastic. Yes. Normally in the show, we have a segment called Tim's Place, which showcases an apartment we've actually bought in the city that we're visiting. Well, surprise, surprise, in Shanghai, or China for that matter, I haven't bought anything. David Liu, a local lawyer, is going to explain exactly why.
Hi, Tim.
Good afternoon, David. Yeah. Now, can foreigners buy in China?
Yes and no. Only the foreigners who work here for at least 1 year, they can buy property here in China.
Okay, so I'm watching this show from the UK or the US or wherever. I'm not living in China. Can I buy?
In that case, you have to set up an entity in China. So you have to set up a company, use this company to purchase property.
So I can buy if I'm living overseas. Can I borrow money?
Sure. You can borrow up to 50% of your purchase price from the local bank.
Okay, so I can borrow money and I can buy property. Next question, making it difficult for you here. Can I sell property and get my money out?
Sure, it's not an issue as long as the purchase is approved by the government. So remittance out of China of the sales proceeds is not a question.
So I can borrow money and I can buy as a foreigner. Final question, should I now be buying because the government's really trying to put the skids on the market?
Different people look at the same thing at a different angle. What we see is that the foreign funds and foreign investors is walking away from this market, but the local purchase is very active at this moment.
And the locals always know best, right?
Yeah.
So why haven't I invested? Well, in the past it was very difficult to get your money out of China, and ownership for foreigners is not quite as simple as it seems. So what have we learned? There's no doubt Shanghai's on the map and it's here to stay. But there are challenges. Mortgages are hard to find, legally foreigners find it tough to buy, and while renting and selling's easy, taxes are high. Although there's great potential for the currency, I would say for now, Shanghai's a no-go. No matter what you say about property and investing, a city can only be really gauged at night. See you next week on Buying Asia. Welcome to Singapore. And I'll meet you in Singapore, which, as many of you know, has grown in leaps and bounds over the last few years. But is it really roaring like a lion or merely purring along? Join me as we explore the real estate in this lion city. This is Tim Murphy signing off on Buying Asia, one brick at a time.